year of O'Neill's flight was 1607, the year of the founding of Jamestown in Virginia, the first permanent English settlement in North America. The Irish began to cross the Atlantic not long after, drawn by the promise of land. They were few in number. They traveled on cargo ships, many of them Catholics, indentured servants, rootless young men who would do 5 years unpaid labor in exchange for their fare. Often the sea captain, landing in the ports of New York or Philadelphia, would auction them off like goods to the highest bidder. Later, these same ports were clogged with strange men, women and children, speaking English with a foreign lilt. They were tall, lean, with hard faces. Americans complained their manner was full of pride. They were the first to come from Ireland in great numbers, Protestants from the north.
The first wave of Irish immigration is one that most Americans aren't even aware of. We all think of the famine Irish, the 1840s as the point when the Irish really came pouring into America. But before the American Revolution, thousands of Irish came pouring into this country. And it so happened that the back country of the American colonies was opening up. People were going out there, and they were looking for a tough bunch of fighters who could protect them against the Indian tribes who were all along the border of the colonies. So these people were perfect because they had been fighting either with each other or with the Catholics for generations.
They cut down the hardwood forests to plow between the rotting stumps. They built their log cabins and their churches. Their Irish melodies were turned into American hymns. They hunted deer and wild turkey. They hunted the Indian. They were marksmen, sharpshooters, frontiersmen. They were the first Irish to capture the American imagination.
They had this tradition of fighting. So they volunteered to fight in the American Revolutionary Army by the thousands. And in the Pennsylvania, each of the colonies had what they called a line, the Continental Line. That was the 3 or 4 or 5 regiments that they were required to supply to Washington's army. And in Pennsylvania, the Continental Line was known as the Line of Ireland because 4/5 of the people in it were Irish.
After the Revolution, these tough Presbyterians moved through the Cumberland Gap into the new frontier of Kentucky and Tennessee. In 1815, they massed at New Orleans to defend the Mississippi Valley from the invading British. This battle produced a great hero, General Andrew Jackson of the Tennessee frontier. In constant pain from a bullet lodged in his ribs, Jackson was ferocious to his enemies, ferociously loyal to his friends. He was the first man to run a popular Democratic campaign for the White House, and the first man of Irish descent to be elected president.